This is part 2 of a multi-part video demonstrating how to use the RMC260 control panel made by Data Video, controlling the, if we can focus, controlling the ATEM line of production switches using a box called an RMC2ATEM controller. In here we're going to be using the menu knob and the enter knob to select our menus as we've seen in the last video, to control palettes. And in this video we're going to talk about the fade to black, and they're going to talk about how to control any and all auxiliary buses that may exist on the connected ATEM. So we'll just quickly talk about the fade to black. There's not a lot involved in the fade to black, but there are controls for ME1 and ME2 fade to black, including the ability to be able to allow audio to fade out when you fade ME1 in and out. ME2 doesn't have the control for that, but ME1 does. So here we're going to go into the palette mode by pushing the menu button as seen in the last video, and it will always return back to the last item that we selected, which in this case was controlling aux buses. I'm just going to go back to the fade to black menu item, and here we can then use the enter knob to scroll through the sub menu items, which are the AFV control and the rate for ME2. So this little number here, oh, let's get rid of that thing. So that indicates ME2, and that number there indicates ME1. So we have 3 menu items under the fade to black. So basically, if we need to change the rate, we just push the enter button down. The asterisk in the top right hand corner will flash, and then we can use the enter knob to change the single frames, and then we can use the if we can get focus on both, use the menu knob to change the second values. So you can see he's changing the seconds values. Those values can be seen changing up here on the maximum 10, and then you can also see changing down here. So I'm just changing the seconds, changing the frames, and if you've got the Putti terminal connected, you can also see the Putti terminal is up here. It's very bright, isn't it? You can see I'm changing the rate, and as I said, the actual value when adjusting is shown in red. When I finish adjusting by hitting the enter button, it'll go back to white, and there you can see it changing the value there. The second item in the fade to blacks is the AFV, which is the as I mentioned a moment ago, the audio follow video for the fade to black. So when you do a fade to black, the audio will fade or won't fade. So I can hit enter button to enter in the change mode. The asterisk appears in the top right hand corner, and I can then just turn the enter knob. You can turn it on, toggle it on and off. There's me toggling it on and off, and again you can see it happening here, toggling on and off, and up here, on, off, on, off, on, off. Well, just basically what this does is that when you do it, I'll leave it on. When you do a fade to black, I'll just come out of my menus. So when you do a fade to black, which is the button here, if you have a look, you see there's audio on the coming out of that ATEM as I hit the fade to black. Oh, I've got the wrong button selected. I need to go over here. I'm looking at aux buses at the moment. I need to go over here to program out. That's program out. And now as I hit, we're in black now, as you can see here. As I fade out of black, you'll see it's fading up, and so is the audio. And I'll just fade it out again, and it's gone. So if I now go back into the menu setting over here, and just, it'll always go back to the last menu. I'm just going to change that to off. Select that off, and now you can see we are in black, but now we have audio. So the fading to black on or off won't affect the audio. So that's that. What that particular item does. It doesn't exist on ME2, so we only have this audio follow video on ME1. So subsequently, as we go through the menu items here, the next menu sub-menu item is ME2 rate, but there's no more after that. So that's all you get. 3 sub-menu items under fade to black. I'm just going to wind that down a bit. Let's make it about 1 second maybe, and that's fade to black too. You'll see over here, there it is there, just up and down. So that's just very quickly what the fade to blacks do on the palette menus. So this is going to go now to, I'm going to hit enter, let's save that. Now we're going to go to Aux buses. Now this particular switcher, ATEM switcher, has 6 aux buses. This one sitting over here, ATEM TVS HD, has only got 1 aux bus, but it's still got 1 aux bus that we can control from here. So what we're going to do now is that we can go through the sub-menus. You can see here we can look at all 6 aux buses that are available on the connected ATEM, and as you select each aux bus, it shows you the current name that is selected for that. Now these names are actually the names that are set on the ATEM, so that if you use your names accurately, you'll get you'll be able to understand where things are. So let's go down and select, say, Aux Bus 1, which is what we're looking at here at the moment. And I've also got it selected up in here as well. We're looking at Aux 1. And so now if we want to change the input to Aux 1, we can just hit the enter button. The asterisk will flash, and now I can actually use the enter knob and go down all the available inputs one at a time. Now this is not actually changing the aux bus. There's a nice little, this is a select and take. If you have a look at the Putti screen, you'll see it's not red, it's green, which means that it's waiting to be selected. So and if you actually have a look over here on the aux selections, this is aux 1, where it is down here, you see as I'm turning the knob, nothing's changing, because it gives you the ability to be able to select your source without actually cutting, and then once you've selected the source you want, let's say we want to go to colour bars, because you can see that, right? So there's colour bars. It's again, asterisk is flashing, but nothing is selected yet. So as soon as I select colour bars, I'm going to select it. I just want to hit enter again. If I come back out here, you'll see this monitor over here is actually showing the output of that aux bus. I hit enter, and there's your colour bars. And if you have a look up here now, you'll see it's selected colour bars. If I hit enter again to change, the asterisk flashes, and once I find my selection, I'll just show you up in here, it's green. Once I've got my selection, I hit enter, it will flash red for a second, and then go back to white. So quickly changing between sources, you can just the procedure is you pick the aux bus you want. Let's say we want aux bus, let's go to aux bus 3, and I then want to change aux bus 3. I can go hit enter. I can then go and select the source that I want. Let's say I want to select such many decisions to make. let's say I want to just select media player 1 key. I'm doing this because it's very obvious. And if that's what I want, I just hit enter, and it's now selected. I have to go over here and select Aux Bus 3 over here. So there, as you can see, Aux Bus 3 is now got that that particular source selected. So if you need to do live cutting on your Aux Bus, you can actually just do that here by just selecting the Aux Bus you want, pressing enter, selecting the source. Let's say we want, say, camera 11. You can then go, so camera 11 is still not selected on the Aux Bus, so we're on Aux Bus 3. So if I just go to Aux Bus 3, you can see that that's the last selection we made. I've now selected it to go to camera 10, so I'm going to press enter, and there it is, camera 10. Now if I want to go to camera 11, I can then select it and then enter it. You're going to want to go to camera, let's go to camera 15, and then enter. So you can see you can do live switching without having to go through all the unwanted sources. So if you're feeding screens and that, you're not flashing up the wrong pictures on the screen. So that's very quickly all I want to talk about. And to come out of, incidentally, if you change a source here, let's say you just go to there, but you don't want it, you just hit the menu button and it takes you out of the palettes control back to normal operation. Nothing's changed, and you're happy to continue doing what you're doing. I hope I've covered everything there. I will talk to you in the next video where I'll be discussing more functionality of controlling these sub-menus, sorry, these palette menus. Good night.